Welcome again to Chris's Caribbean Delights, and today we're coming to you with pumpkin. Pumpkin is very, that delectable vegetable that with that bright orange color. I'm going to be seasoning that. I'm going to cooking that with some shrimp, pumpkin and shrimp, and then I'll make some roti to go with that. Pumpkin, shrimp, and roti. So let's go to those ingredients, and I'll show you exactly what I'm going to put in there. So here, obviously, I have the pumpkin. I've started to cut this up. I've cut it up into small pieces like this, and I have a couple more I have to cut up. This is some cooked shrimp, which I'm going to use. I'm going to also use some raw shrimp, which I'll cook before I mix it. And we have some garlic, lots of garlic, and cilantro, some onions. I love the dill flavor with the pumpkin, so I put some dill in there. 2 scallions. And just for good measure, I put some sweet peppers in there, some Italian peppers. Complete seasoning, black pepper. And I'll use some Bullion powder for my salt, salt element, some Bullion powder. So we're going to put this all together. I'm going to continue cutting up my pumpkins, and we'll go back. We'll go to the next step. uncooked shrimp. Then some butter and oil. This is the uncooked shrimp. You don't want to cook it too much until it's done. You just want to just get it started. Just want to get it started. Because it's going to go back into the pumpkin and continue cooking. So just until it curls up like that. Great. Take that out. Put it back in our pan. Put it back in our bowl here. And we're going to set it aside. Good. All the little shrimp bits are in here. Now, we're going to put cheese in. Then just add your garlic and a little bit of red pepper, onions, cilantro, bell pepper, all the other stuff. There we go. A little bit of black pepper and bouillon powder. Okay. Okay, so we just let this cook up for a little bit. Maybe add a little bit of more oil in here. Let that cook up for a little. I think I need a little more heat here. A little more heat. So, to recap, I first cooked the uncooked shrimp that I was going to use. I halfway cooked it. I have some cooked shrimp here which I'm going to add also. So that's why I pre-cooked the uncooked one that I had to bring it up to standard. And then in here I have onions, garlic, cilantro, scallion, bell peppers, a little bit of green bell pepper and Italian pepper, and a little bit of red pepper in here, also hot pepper. And we're going to bring this all up. I added some Bullion powder, some complete seasoning, and some black pepper. And this is going to fry, and this is going to just cook for about a minute or so. And then to this, I'm going to add the pumpkin and mix it in. So once this gets another 30 seconds or so, we'll be back with the pumpkin. So that's nice and fragrant and working well. And now we're going to add our pumpkin in here. Look at that. This guy missed it. I missed this guy here. So we're going to slice that up and we'll be back. So put the pumpkin, turn my heat down a little, and we're going to just get the pumpkin all in here, mixed in with the other seasonings. this amount of pumpkin, you know you'll need a little more of my dry seasoning, so I put some more complete seasoning on that. Some black pepper. Seasoning for every level. So like a half a teaspoon of each, Stir that in, and then you put the lid on here and just let this go for about 15 minutes or so, or until the pumpkin gets really soft and crushable. So let's put the lid on there and we'll be back. We put the lid on here, turn it down and let it go for 15 minutes, and then we'll check it. So here we are with the pumpkin after about 10 minutes. They're all nice and they're soft. Depending on how small you want them, you can always break them up further. I have one of these things here. You just go in and just crush them, break them to your size, your liking. It doesn't have to be like mush or paste, but just nice and chunky. And at this point, we add our shrimp. This was the uncooked shrimp. We put that in first and let that continue cooking. Give this a minute or so to continue cooking through, and then we'll come back and add the cooked shrimp.